Name from a Toyota, platform from a Land Rover, looks of a Range Rover, and engine and powertrain, rather engine and gearbox, which is the powertrain, from a Jeep. Yes, that's right, from the Compass. This is the Tata Harrier, a nice cocktail or a mocktail of one of the best things you can imagine in life as far as the automobile industry goes. This is the key of the vehicle. This happens to be the Dark Edition. Straight away, let's open the engine bay. Oh my god, the engine, I mean rather the hood is extremely heavy. Cryotech written right there. Compact engine bay. Insulation is there as well. And this being the Dark Edition gets a lot of these dark treatment, which actually, I mean, they've completely blackened out the car, which really looks nice. So you get this grey treatment around the DRL and the lights. It looks nice. The DRLs also double up as the indicators. And can you see this? Can you tell me what exactly is that logo? Obviously it gets a projector setup. This is the fog light. You know what's so funny about the headlight placement? It kind of looks like this, okay, 2 up and 1 down. Yeah, that's funny. But then the Harrier came first, so Apple copied, probably. Yeah, so blackened out grille, Tata logo. So you have this piano black finish everywhere. Even the bumper, the skate plate, everything is finished in black here. Now the black color on this car is known as the Atlas Black, and you also get this hashtag dark badging on the front fender. The wheels are also finished in black, 235, 65, 17. Same design of the wheels as earlier. However, now it's finished in black, which actually increases the appeal of the wheels, but still they're kind of basic. However, the good news is because this is based on the Land Rover Discovery platform, you can take the Discovery's 18-inch wheels. They are a bolt-on fit here. Design of the car is really nice, and from certain profiles, it actually looks like a Range Rover Velar, which is a good thing. Attention to detail is massive. You see Harrier is written here. Chrome treatment gives it this whole floating roof appearance, but on an all black car, that is not noticeable at all. I love the lights. Okay, the lights are really beautiful at the rear. However, only the brake light is LED. Meanwhile, the reverse light as well as the indicators are actually halogen. Reflectors here, Harrier written there boldly. Camera is popping out from there, and again rear skid plate. So it's not really a real skid plate, but everything is finished in black. You get these fake exhaust as well, reflectors here. Actually, this is for the fog light. So here you see these are the fake exhaust. I mean, there is nothing here. I don't know why Mercedes and Tata keep doing this fake stuff, but you know, the thing is they were in collaboration. When Mercedes-Benz entered India, they entered it with Tata Motors and launched the W124 E-Class. Motor beam sticker right there, that is optional. Meanwhile, as you can see, the design is really very nice because some of this color makes the car look so much more appealing than it was earlier. Anyways, doors are heavy, and you see there are twin compartments, one on the top, one below, so plenty of space to keep your stuff. JBL sound speaker. The cabin is wide enough so 3 people can comfortably sit inside the car, and there's good amount of knee room and leg room on offer as well. Under-thigh support is also good. Scooped out seat back, magazine holder. There's space to keep stuff here as well. So quite a practical cabin. In fact, the center armrest has got twin cup holders as well. Seats are extremely comfortable. There's a hook, there's a handle, there's a light placement here, and I mean the car just feels so robust here. Look at this, shuts with a thud, and I love the perforation on the leather which is on the door handle. That's also pretty nice. Car feels really built extremely well, feels so solid and macho in every way possible. So it's a comfortable place to be in the rear because there's a lot of room. This is actually a car you would not mind giving it to a chauffeur and sitting behind because there's just so much space on offer and comfort as well. Seats are supremely comfortable. Now it gets all black inside as well. So these are black color leatherette seats, which again are much more appealing from a sportier perspective than the ones which are available on the regular Harrier, which uses with little dark brown ones. Boot carrying capacity is decent enough, but the good news is that below here, yeah, there is compartments to store stuff just in case you want to increase the practicality of the vehicle, because the spare wheel is below, which happens to be a smaller size tire. Yeah, a 16-incher. That's cost cutting. Anyways, you can split forward the seat in 60/40, and there's a hook here as well, so you can put your luggage there. This is the parcel shelf, and overall the car feels so freaking robust. Am I going to go below this car and try to show you the spare wheel? Of course I am. So there it is, smaller size tire, and it's not even an alloy. So that is the cost cutting. So coming towards the car, let me tell you, when you actually unlock the car light, it projects the logo, actually the silhouette of the car, like a Range Rover on the road. And it has got passive entry, it's got push button start as well, big door pockets at the front. Love this perforation as well. Seats are extremely comfortable. It's got 6 airbags too, and adjustable headrests, 4 adjustable headrests. The center headrest is not there only in this car. That's kind of missing. As you can see, bolstering is pretty nice on this vehicle, and I love the seat. So dead pedal is actually quite small here, but there is no electric adjust for the driver's seat, which is a bit disappointing at this price point. Come on, Tata Motors, just take features list from the XUV 500 and put it in the Harrier as well. Anyways, let's turn on the vehicle. When you turn it on, just check this, okay? there it comes to life. Oh god, air conditioning is really loud because I did not lock the car. I need to do all this and more, yeah. Come on, Harrier, be smarter, yeah. Show me all your tricks right away. Don't have to do all this again and again. When you lock the obviously massive mirrors shut, here I unlocked it, there, opened this as well. And now when I actually try to turn on the vehicle, so it's supposed to do a full swipe. Why is it not doing? Maybe it does it in the morning, but it does a full swipe for the speedometer as well. Now that is a 7-inch screen, which has plenty of information. On the left we've got the tachometer, and the center we have got a multi-information display which is showing me distance to empty, instant fuel economy, as well as trip data like average speed, and also a power and torque meter. So we'll turn on the car once again, and there it rose to life. So when you actually accelerate, it shows you how much power and torque is being used in a graphical format, which is again a nice thing. So as you can see, the dashboard design is really very nice. They made changes because the seat color is now black, so you have this beautiful gray stitching right there. Like, they've really done a great job with the gray stitching. And of course this perforation is also very nice. This is the black stone matrix instead of the wood which is there on the regular Harrier. That also looks nice, and the humanity line is finished in gray. Again, the whole treatment gives it a sportier appeal, and just imagine they just changed the colors. They've not done anything else at all, and still the appeal of the car has gone drastically over the roof. Build quality is pretty good. Panel gaps are there, however they aren't as many as you would expect from a Tata car, so definitely there's an improvement in terms of quality. And the front seats also extremely comfortable. I mean, there are wide, good amount of bolstering, good amount of under thigh support as well. The glove box is a decent size, and there's a compartment on the top as well to keep stuff. Meanwhile, you get a mirror along with twin lights. Yeah, on this side though, there is no mirror, there's no light, there's no toll receipt holder. So these are the placements of the lights. There's a sunglass holder here, and there's no sunroof, which is extremely disappointing because at this price point you definitely expect a sunroof. These are the controls for the audio system. Meanwhile, these are the controls for the cruise control as well as the multi-information display right there. And these are the controls for the headlights. It gets automatic headlights, it gets automatic wipers. Wipers do a great job. Lot of spray on offer. However, disappointingly though, this is not an auto dimming inside rear view mirror. This motor beam perfume is optional, and this 8.8-inch screen is quite legible. In fact, let's get into reverse right away. This is a reverse parking camera. It gets adaptive guidelines as well, so it gets Apple CarPlay, it gets Android Auto connectivity too. These are the controls to actually, you know, if you want to use physical controls to use this touchscreen, well, these are the buttons. But you know what, yeah, it's a touchscreen, but overall touch sensitivity isn't the best as such, not really up to Maruti and Hyundai standards. Now these are the controls for various functions, like this is for the front and rear fog lights, this is for the hazard light, and this is for the multi-drive modes. Meanwhile, these are the controls for the air conditioning, and this is the off-road terrain response system, which by the way happens to have two modes. One is wet and one is off-road. This is for traction control and this is for downhill assist. So there's storage space below here, and there's a nice storage space here as well, and below the front center armrest as well there is a cooled box. Here is a 12-volt charging socket. This handbrake, which is like an aircraft styled one, is just unnecessary because it just kind of, you know, requires a lot more effort to use. However, in terms of design, definitely things are pretty good here. So let's quickly play an audio right away, and the audio I'm going to play is very relevant to the Tata Harrier. Audio quality is brilliant. These JBL speakers do a brilliant job. There's a subwoofer as well, and because the quality of the car, the build quality, the quality of materials, the thickness of stuff is so good and nothing inside vibrates at all. That is how splendid the audio system feels, because nothing actually moves. However, there are some vibration due to the engine on the steering wheel as well as on the gear lever. Meanwhile, these are the controls for the outside rear view mirrors. The rear view mirrors are just too big. They're so big, they kind of make a blind spot around the A-pillar. However, in terms of showing you what's behind, they do a great job. There's no dedicated button to lock or unlock the door, so you have to do it like this only. And I would really appreciate it if there would have been a one touch up and down for the power windows, because cars costing half this much also get it. Now the steering could have been a little bit more adventurous in terms of design. However, I like it in terms, like, it does offer a good amount of feel. The horn is very meek. Let's quickly get outside and show you another cool thing which I missed out on. Yeah, can you see this? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, this is the Make in India logo, which also looks pretty nice, and this is the reverse parking camera. So as you can see, the Harrier Dark Edition doesn't have anything different. This was a great opportunity for Tata Motors to actually give it more features and make it more equipment rich. Unfortunately, they haven't done it. Anyways, let's get driving. So now we're going to turn on the vehicle, and vehicle turns on. I'm not going to turn off ESP, which I'll tell you in a bit. Air conditioning off, getting into sport mode, sport drive mode activated, handbrake down, revving the motor, rev still almost 2,500 RPM, and off we go. Yeah, we wheel spin on offer, goes till 5000 RPM. So yes, the motor does rev, but it's super duper noisy. There's no getting away the fact that the engine is absolutely loud, and it's loud whether you're at idle, it's loud whether you're in the mid-range, and it's loud definitely in the top end as well. So yes, the motor doesn't have the best NVH, and you can feel some amount of vibrations as well on the gear lever as well as on the steering wheel. But for the most part, the performance is what will make you forget the sound of the motor. Yes, it's quite boomy and loud as well, and because of that sound, you know, it's a bit disturbing, especially when you rev the nuts out of this motor. Low end lag, obviously there is some amount of low end lag, but the mid-range is really strong, top end is a bit lacking. So this is a car which will actually put a smile on your face, because if you love the silence before the storm like I do, you're really going to enjoy the mid-range of this vehicle, because it has got a lot to offer in the mid-range and pulls strongly as well when you actually pull it past 2000 RPM. But unfortunately, the top end is a bit lacking, considering that the low end lag is definitely there, which means that affects drivability in the city. You know, you would have expected it to have a better top end, but it doesn't have that. Anyways, overall performance is decent enough. This is a 2-liter engine. It is the Multijet 2, Fiat's Multijet 2 diesel motor, which is also used in the Compass as well as the Hector. However, Tata Motors is calling it the Cryotech. You can call it whatever you want, but at the end of the day, it is the same engine which produces 140 horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque, enough for this car to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 12.5 seconds. Meanwhile, you can see the Harrier there. Yeah, Harrier looking at Harrier. Now that is the non-dark edition. This is the dark edition. Overall performance is good enough. The clutch is well weighed, I would say, and definitely the gearbox is slick shifting as well with defined gates. That is loud and how. However, because the motor does perform well in the mid-range, I'm quite happy about that. And you've got 3 drive modes. There's City, there's Eco, and there's Sport. City and Eco are very similar, but in Sport you can definitely feel the added oomph and pull strongly as well. In fact, once you get into Sport mode, you realize that the car just performs so much better. Top speed is around 180 kilometers per hour. There's no struggle as such. Even in gear, as long as you are in the peaky mid-range, it will perform brilliantly well and pull strongly as well. Now Tata Motors is also giving it some electronic trickery, which basically is to make this front wheel drive vehicle capable of the road, and it kind of works because, you know, it's got some ESP modes which are able to alter the way power is delivered to the wheels in order to ensure that this car is actually capable of the road. And there is a rough road mode, and there's also a wet mode, so that is also pretty nice and useful, making it more SUV than most of the front wheel drive cars in the market right now, while still it's not a complete SUV, because an SUV needs all-wheel drive, which is lacking in the Harrier. I love the fact that the manual gearbox is so much fun to drive. However, since this market, or rather the segment itself, requires 35 to 40% people wanting an automatic, Tata Motors should have offered that as well. Even with the ESP on, there's some amount of wheel spin on offer. So Tata Motors hasn't really restricted the car in terms of, you know, spinning its wheels or delivering all that power without intervening with the ESP system, which is a good thing. But they've done something terrible. Okay, now if I turn off ESP, it will get into city mode automatically. It won't let me drive in sport mode. It will get it into city mode, which means that with the ESP turned off, you cannot get all the power, which is very disappointing indeed. Now the elephant in the room is this a Land Rover Discovery Sport with a Tata badging? Absolutely not. Okay, it is underpinned by the L550 or the D8 platform, which is also used on the Land Rover Discovery Sport, as well as the older generation of the Evoque, or rather the first generation of the Evoque. But then obviously, you know, a car which costs 3x more will have a lot of different components. What they have done is they've taken the basic chassis, of course, the basic frame, and then they've also used the front suspension from the Discovery, which means that it does get independent front suspension. However, the rear suspension comes from Tata Motors itself. It's a torsion beam. It's a semi-independent suspension. It's not a full independent suspension like on the Discovery Sport. And honestly, you can't tell the difference, because, you know, the ride quality is absolutely beyond magic. Definitely the motor could have been less noisy, because there's so much noise coming across. It's absolutely baffling why the NVH isn't up to scratch. However, in terms of ride quality, there's no beating this car. Yes, at low speeds it's a bit uneasy, but once you get driving hard and fast, I mean, as you increase the space of the vehicle, it just flattens everything out so brilliantly well. it does a fab job over bad roads. It's so freaking compliant. It makes you feel like you're driving the car on marshmallow. That is a level of ride quality on offer. Tata Motors has absolutely nailed it with the ride quality of the Harrier. Such a fab riding car. Absolutely sensational, the ride quality. And in spite of the fact that the ride quality is so good, well, the handling is also pretty nice, because body roll, although it's there in plenty, is well contained. Steering is a hydraulic unit in the interest of cost cutting. It's not a modern electric power steering. It's a hydraulic unit, and it does offer great amount of feel and feedback. It is heavy at low speeds, but it does weigh up at higher speeds and is quite communicative as well. High speed stability is good. There's good amount of grip on offer as well. So in terms of ride and handling balance, the Tata Harrier is absolutely splendid and way better than any other car at this price point. I know many of you would be like, okay, the Harrier misses out on a lot of features, which is actually true. It does miss out on a lot of equipment which should have been there, like a sunroof, for example, is extremely crucial. And at this price, I would have expected Tata Motors to also have thrown in, you know, ventilated seats, electric seats, auto dimming inside rear view mirrors, and the list can go on and on and on. But I'd rather have such a splendid suspension system, such a communicative steering wheel, rather than having a sunroof or all those superficial features which are of not much use when you're driving the car. Because honestly, the feel of the Harrier makes me feel that this is a fitting replacement to the Tata Safari, although this one, being a front wheel drive monocoque, can never ever come in the same league as the Safari, which is a four-wheel drive body on frame vehicle. Yeah, beyond the fact that the engine is noisy, there's plenty of road noise also which filters inside. So yes, insulation could have definitely been better in the Harrier. However, in terms of performance, I don't have much to complain. In terms of ride and handling balance, this is by far the best balance of ride and handling I've seen in the segment. Sorry all other cars, but you can't even come close. If there's any car around this price bracket, in fact at a slightly higher price bracket, which is one up above the Harrier, is the Jeep Compass, because the Compass is a true SUV in the real sense with four-wheel drive. But this one is way more capable than all those front-wheel drive SUVs which tread on lightweight, but they definitely do not offer the feel of an SUV, which the Harrier does so freaking well. Braking performance is also very good. Brakes are sure-footed, although it does miss out on rear discs. At this price point, you would expect that. But then Tata Motors has given it a lot of electronics. This car is loaded to the brim with electronics, right from brake drying function to whatnot, and all of that really works to make the Harrier a very sure-footed car in terms of driving ability. Now, as we were discussing, that the Land Rover platform does play a major part in making the Harrier so brilliant, but obviously Tata Motors has cut costs here and there because, you know, to make it cost effective. Like in the case of a Land Rover, they might use aluminium, meanwhile Tata Motors would use steel. Obviously, that's the way to cut cost, but essentially it is more or less the same platform which enables the Harrier to give you a feel of a Land Rover. And dare I say it, this is actually a Desi Land Rover in the real sense. So we've got 8 variants on offer. That's right, 8 variants on offer, and they're dual tone paints as well. I think additional 26,000 for that. And the pricing starts at rupees 16 lakhs on road for the base trim. For the top end trim, it goes to 20.7 lakhs or so. This particular car which I'm driving right now is priced at rupees 20.5 lakhs. All the prices are on road Mumbai, and for the price you get a car which is definitely better than the Kia Seltos, the MG Hector, the Hyundai Creta, and any other car at this price band, at least in terms of driving feel and definitely in terms of ride quality as well. Now the Seltos is on the stiffer side, meanwhile the Hector is on the softer side, but the Harrier's balance is just super duper brilliant indeed. That is some wheel spin. This car weighs around 1650 kgs. You can't really feel the weight as such because the balance is really very nice. Fuel economy is around 12 to 15 kilometers per liter depending on your driving style. So yes, Tata Motors has managed a brilliant car, although, you know, they missed on that 10% which would have made the Harrier such a brilliant vehicle, like the additional features and definitely an automatic transmission as well. The 90% there, that 10% probably is going to be addressed by the Gravitas, which is going to be a 7-seater. So guys, this is my vlog of the Tata Harrier Dark Edition. Mechanically it's the same as a regular Harrier, but overall I would say it's an absolute fun to drive car and looks the part as well. In terms of practicality, in terms of appearance, design and ride and handling balance, the Harrier is difficult to fault with. They just need to add one feature which people think is more important than suspension, which people think is more important than driving feel, which people think is more important than having space as well, is after all a sunroof. Because a sunroof can sell a car even if the car does not have an engine. However, give the car a fantastic suspension system, people are least bothered. All they care about is equipment and even more equipment, and that's unfortunately the superficial status of the Indian car buyer right now. So if you like this vlog, you know what you have to do. Give it a thumbs up, that's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I have to pause this vlog, stop this vlog because of that atrocious car right in front of me.